a little clip. So I want to bring it back a little bit, man, because this hair kind of hurt me, man.
Cheering his brother's team on here. 2nd and 8 from the 9. Jackson to Flowers. He dives. The ball came out. It's recovered by Kansas City. Did the ball come out before he broke the plane?
I think you're right.
They're calling it a touchback and recovery on the field. This is a call that could determine the whole game right here.
Snead,
It's out.
who has played at the highest level this entire season, Jim. Snead has defended the other team's best receiver, traveled with him all year, and he has shut him down week in, week out, and makes the biggest play of the season, getting the ball back for the Chiefs.
It's already been confirmed. It's a turnover and a touchback with the recovery in the end zone. That's the second giveaway by the Ravens today.
The Chiefs are the rare team.
I was hurt. I think that play was I think that was really the game changer for those guys, man. That was huge. Travis Kelce, 116 yards, 11 receptions. Pat Mahomes only missed probably 9 passes that game. The Chiefs took that from them, man. Did y'all have the Chiefs or the Ravens? I'm trying to remember.
I will remain. I'm going to keep my camera off due to business purposes. Baltimore, I can't show my face around right now. Baltimore just choked last week. They threw that game away.
Ace, who you had last week, Ace?
It was a toss-up for me, honestly. I was, hoping Lamar and them could keep the momentum, but at the same time, they had to go through Kansas City, and they weren't just going to hand it to them. To be a champion, you got to go through a champion. And I don't even want to say Kansas City took it. Lamar gave it away. They just said, here you go. And that's how it was, honestly.
I mean, I could have definitely agreed. Go ahead, though.
Not even to which the clip you showed, yeah, that would have changed the game. However, there was also a play when it's like 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Lamar's known for a running quarterback. Just run the ball, get those 1-2 yards. Like he changed. I'm gonna say he changed the game. Cam Newton started it. He enhanced it. Let's put it like that. It was a couple plays where they had it and it just didn't execute. Those long bombs to Odell and just like behind him, missing him, things like that. Kansas City didn't really score in the second half like that, so the defense came to play. You got to blame the offense at some point.
That offensive line was terrible.
I can't even say that because if you watch the game, all you see was Lamar patting the ball in that backfield. Lamar had time.
Yeah.
He went through 4 or 5 reads at a time before he wanted to do anything. So I think Baltimore just choked, honestly, on all facets.
I think KC came away with like 5 sacks that game too.
Kansas City didn't score all second half, if I'm not mistaken. I think they had a total of 123 yards. So the defense did their job. The offense just couldn't pick it up. And when they was finally get a rhythm, they was killing themselves with taunting from Zay Flowers. Then the fumble we just seen. Then Lamar throwing it into double coverage where you have the weak side safety come from one end of the sideline and pick it off. Even though that was a pass interference and the ref was right there in the end zone, you can't make that decision if you're Lamar Jackson. It was just a bad day to pick your bad game all year.
Well, enough of them because it's Super Bowl time and the Chiefs are going to the chip. I think Pat Mahomes has made it to the Super Bowl 4 out of the last 5 seasons. So let's talk about him a little bit. Do y'all believe he's a GOAT? He's in the GOAT conversation?
Oh, most definitely. Hitting the ground running since he started over Alex Smith. He's been sensational, well-deserving of that contract they gave him. And he's been producing to be in the, AFC Championship consecutively and things like that. Only second to, I believe, the Patriots on that historic run they've been making. You got to give the flowers when it's due. No pun intended to the rookie on the Ravens.
I think he's on his way. It's too soon. He had a good couple of years, but how's he going to be the next 3 or 4, because at one point Russell Wilson was looking real good on the field. What happened to him?
Denver, shit in the can.
I don't think Russell Wilson made that many conference championships in a row.
I was going to say, we will never utter Russell Wilson's name with the GOAT Mahomes.
How many Mahomes got?
He has 2
Rings?
Super Bowls.
He got 2. How many Russell Wilson got?
1.
One.
Oh, okay.
And it was and it really was his defense. It wasn't really so on Russell.
That Legion of Boom.
We're not even here to discuss that real quick. So
I think, like I said last week too, he not gonna be in that convo for me as of yet until he gets to that 4th ring. Just because Brady has 7, I mean it's tough to.
Which
it's kind of like
any franchise, so the likelihood of that happening.
But I'll say he has the best start ever for a quarterback in his first 6 seasons to be 5 out of the 6 in at least the Super Bowl, and then he's been in almost every AFC championship since he's been a starter in the league. He's already has 15 or 14 playoff wins in 6 seasons, which is probably 1 or 2 less behind Brady, who played over 20 seasons. I mean, there's nothing he hasn't already done. If he wins next week, that's just the icing on the cake. I think it's time for most people, the media, to stop trying to see who's on his level, because there's no one on his level. It's Mahomes, and everybody else is underneath him. Yeah, and I'm not betting against 15 again. I learned my lesson last week for the first time.
I mean, I could definitely agree with that, man. I wanna just, we talking about GOAT conversation, so I just want to see a little bit of, just see what happened, man, because it damn sure looked good. It damn sure looked good last week.
Lamar got hit from behind. The ball is stripped. It was Ominahu who came from behind and knocked it out of his hands, and Karlaftis has the recovery for Kansas City.
And times it perfectly. And that ball
That was big.
is out. Chiefs ball.
Cheering his brother's team on here. 2nd and 8 from the 9. Jackson to Flowers. He dives. The ball came out. It's recovered by Kansas City.
Or Trey got to watch this over and over
He
again.
broke the plane.
I think you're right.
They're calling it a touchback and recovery.
It's all right. As long as we ain't looking at no Taylor Swift
You determine the whole game right here.
cameo
Sneed,
scenes, I'm
It's
good.
out.
who has played at the highest level this entire season.
I believe she definitely
Sneed
had
has
an effect in
defended
this
the other
game,
team's
man. I
best
don't know. Ever
receiver.
since she started showing up, I think this play was crazy to Travis. No, I
Gets
don't
the
think this is it.
protection. He goes
Oh, no, this pass
long
was
and on
crazy,
his
though.
back to ice it.
3rd and 9, they
Is
needed that.
Marquez
Like I said, though,
Scantling for
that was the only
second
time you heard that
straight
man's
week.
name
The
all game.
aggressive call, only Mahomes and Andy.
He made the big.
and
Numbers
they didn't
call,
blitz
that's what's
the middle,
important.
and they gave him enough time.
He made the play they were supposed to make.
I
But that's
want a
again
screen,
Baltimore
play
just
action,
having
and a
that defense.
Seen the screen working already, looking, diving under.
He was running through that defense, man.
Checo for another
That's
jump
maybe
play
1 or
and a
2
first down.
incidents
Someone go in
that
and
they
get
didn't
it to the
hold
flat.
up. Offense got to put points on there for us to contend.
Drifting right, throwing.
Both of
What a
them to
catch.
contend. I mean, not
That
saying
was
that.
Kelsey pulling it down for the first down on a 4th and 2.
Then you have a chance to win this game.
Well, last week, Houston did not have a single snap inside the 25. Here's Kansas City from the 19, throwing at the goal line, and it's caught by Kelsey for
That
the
was just a
touchdown.
tough catch.
With
Good
Kyle
play.
Hamilton all over him, the
All-pro
matchup
rookie.
you wanted to watch. Kelsey
Kyle
wins
Hamilton
it, and the Chiefs
covered him as
drive
good
for
as
an
you can.
opening touchdown.
That's
That's
the
a good
first
play.
time a tight end has scored on Kyle Hamilton all year. Now, he has
Travis
not seen
Kelce,
his
arguably the
played
best tight end to ever
all
play.
the greats. You're expecting man when there's
Putting
a
him
line
over Tony
together.
Gonzalez.
Mahomes.
You put him over
backpedals to
Gronkowski?
37. He's got time.
It's
He has the
debatable.
All
longevity.
kinds of time.
This play here was
Now
tough.
escapes.
That's a
Fires
recency
it at the
bias
last
right now.
second, and Kelsey caught it.
You know, Kelsey didn't run his route on that play, like Mahomes said. But nah, he could be over Gronk for longevity purposes.
I feel like
say.
Gronk could have definitely had like a lot more time in the game. Of course, with injuries and stuff like that, it kind of shortened his career a little bit, leaving and coming back and stuff like that. But I definitely think, that's easily debatable. But I would put him in the conversation with Mr. Gonzalez and stuff. I mean, that guy, right now I'm taking Kelsey, but I mean, it's debatable. It's debatable.
Man,
It's
honestly,
debatable.
this game was one thing, but then the NFC Championship game was another thing too.
That game,
Yep.
that game there, I had Lions, man. Who did y'all have?
I had Detroit, but I said last week, San Fran should win this game. I ain't expect them to win in that fashion. I feel like Detroit's loss is worse than Baltimore's, in my opinion. Baltimore, you're up 10 with 5 minutes left in the game, and you choke the lead. Like, you had 5 minutes. If you could just function for 5 more minutes, you're in the Super Bowl. Whereas in Baltimore, they just choked and didn't play up to their standards.
I mean, losers don't know how to win, though.
They ain't never.
Experience is the best teacher.
Experience is the best teacher, but
exactly. But Detroit had it in their hands, man. Like you said, it was up 17. There was no excuse, man. It was like halftime came, and that was just it. That was just it for them boys, man.
I'll say this too: losing because the number 90 on the Chiefs that made that strip sack on Lamar, he's out for the rest of the season. He torn his ACL that game, so that's a big loss for that defensive line for the Chiefs. Having said that, I think the Chiefs should win this game convincingly against the Niners. I'm sorry. The Niners have been in too many – you got to be lucky to get to this point, but the Niners should have lost against Green Bay. They definitely should have lost last week. I don't see Kansas City having a lead like that and fumbling like Detroit does, or having Mahomes throw a pick like Jordan Love did in the divisional round. So I hope San Fran learns from their mistakes and get off to a good start. But we could talk about that.
That's what I want to, that's what I want to get into. We'll talk more about it, next week. We're still a week away from the Super Bowl, but I want to know real quick, what's y'all quick picks of the Super Bowl? Call it out right now.
I ain't betting against 15, so
don't be shy now.
I gotta go Pat Mahomes, man.
I'll go 49ers.
I called whoever came out of the AFC. I had them going to the chip and winning. So I gotta go Pat Mahomes, man. I assume you're going Pat Mahomes, Ace.
Honestly, I'm gonna go 49ers only because
you just trying to be on the other side.
That too, but 49ers came back from down 17, that momentum, that will to fight. Pat Mahomes, he's been here, he's been relaxed, but he might be too relaxed. 49ers I'm just going 49ers.
The Niners been here too.
I mean, the Niners.
Who they lost to? That boy Mahomes.
Even better for them to correct
and they
that
lost
loss.
The lead too.
Even better for them to correct that loss.
Would you just say experience is the best team?
But Mr. Brock Purdy wasn't there as well.
I was going to say this, but Fred Warner was there. Nick Bosa was there. And
wasn't Tyreek
I'll
Hill
be honest,
there from Chiefs too?
Yeah, but Mahomes already proved he could win without him. But that D line is worse because all of y'all notice they can't stop the run. And what has Kansas City been able to do this season? Run the ball. Pacheco's going to run through that D line.
Just say that Kansas City suffered an injury in the previous game. And you're talking
the
about
defensive
line not being the same.
Defensive lineman. But I trust Chris Jones.
And you have the audacity to bring up defensive line right now after they just got a horrendous
because
injury?
if you look at it, the 49ers defensive line giving up a lot of rushing yards these last two postseason games against Aaron Jones and my man right there, David Montgomery, and the rest of the crew on the line. So that's a clear weakness. That back end is sweet, in my opinion. They got no one to guard Kelsey, and if Rashee Rice continues what he's doing, I just don't see how they're going to stop that offense. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, though. I see like mid-20s.